Hi Dreamweavers, welcome back. Luma Rose here with you for another whisper. So today the topic is what does it actually mean to mirror someone, right? We talk a lot about that. And I think at first we wonder, right? Like, what does that mean? And what is it about calmness? They always tell you, like, if you have a narcissist in your life, I don't like to use that word because that is a diagnosis, but we have people in our lives that have narcissistic tendencies, so, and who are toxic, who are controlling, right? So how do you deal with those people? And why is it that our calmness and refusal to shrink is a mirror to these people? All right. And the thing is that when you're calm in the face of manipulation, you're not playing the narcissist game anymore. They thrive on the emotional chaos, the reaction, and that part of it gives them control, ironically. So when you remain calm, unbothered, you disrupt their illusion. So here's what's happening. Narcissists project their own unresolved traumas onto you, so their wounds. And they rely on your emotional response, like your tears and your yelling and you being ashamed, right? And your self-doubt to make them feel it. It helps them offload their discomfort with what you're doing because it helps them feel like they're in control, like they're the smart one. They know better, right? And so this is the illusion, because they don't always know better. It's just that they project their fears, they project they're relying on saying something to you that's going to cause you to drop to that lower vibrational energy of maybe yelling at them, and then they can say, well, you're the problem, I'm not the problem, look at me, right? And so they use that tactic, right, to make themselves feel better and maintain the illusion. Now, when you don't react, it's amazing, because initially this might be taken as weakness, right? Your non-reaction, right? And but what really is happening is it's going to look to you like it's being taken for weakness, because they may come at you stronger and you may say, oh my gosh, like, they're now, it feels like bullying, right? But the truth of the matter is that emotional energy that they were looking to get from you is now coming from them, because you're unbothered, right? So that's why some people think, oh, well, if they start yelling louder, then I need to react, I need to say something, I need to do something, or I need to get upset and show them how upset I am by crying. But the more, when you do that, they become unbothered by the fact that you're crying, that they've made you cry, that they've made you yell, that they've made you act out of character, and then they look like the composed one. But when you are the one, my dear Pisces, when you are the one who is unbothered to start with, yes, it might feel like weakness at first because they're going to come stronger. But that energy has absolutely nowhere to go but bounce right back at them. And that's the reaction that you're seeing from them. That's why they're coming on stronger. So your stillness in itself, your unbotheredness, becomes the confrontation. It says, I see you, I'm not afraid, and I'm not playing along. That unspoken boundary exposes the truth of who they are, because then you get to see it. You see it come out more powerfully, right? So your refusal to shrink, to apologize for existing, to soften your truth, right? And being in your truth doesn't mean that you have to tell them your truth. They can say you're lying and you don't respond. Does that mean you're lying? No, it just means you're not responding. Like, you don't care what they think. Nothing worse than somebody who wants to be in control thinking that you don't, feeling and thinking that you don't care what they think. You don't downplay your light. And this forces them to face their own lack of authenticity. Because they're using the fact that they can make you feel smaller to feel bigger. But when you remain unbothered, that's not small enough for them. Unbothered is not small enough. What's small enough for them is if you react, you have tears, you're yelling, you're screaming, and you're out of control because of their behavior. Then they feel big. But truly, they're the ones that are feeling that way on the inside. They're just projecting and pulling that out of you. I hope this is making sense. So, your groundedness, because you're grounded in your authenticity and they're hiding behind a mask, that contrast is unbearable for them because they want to pull your mask. They want to be the one that appears to be grounded and unbothered. But that lack of response is the confrontation that really shows you who they are. And so, being an empath is not about actually holding up a mirror, right? It's not like they have to look at themselves, because people can go look at themselves in the mirror and they can tell each other they can tell themselves whatever it is that they want to hear. Whatever it is that they feel that they need to hear, they can put on the makeup and tell themselves, whatever, put on the cologne and be like, yeah, I am the bomb, right? But they're only the bomb as far as that mirror goes that's in front of them. But when they are looking at an energetic mirror that says, that actually doesn't even need to say much, your peaceful presence becomes a spiritual spotlight on them. And it illuminates what's lurking beneath, and they don't like it. So when you stay calm and you stand tall, you're not just protecting your peace. You're reflecting back everything they're trying to hide. That's why they flinch, rage, and sometimes run away. It's not weakness to stand calm, stand tall, and be unbothered. It's power. It's your superpower. So let me know if you've ever used this. Let me know if you plan to use this as your superpower. Let me know if you see this as your superpower, because it really is. And if you haven't tried this yet, I want you to try it and see what happens. And when you know this, it doesn't matter if they rage, because you still remain unbothered. Eventually they'll have to flee if they're not ready to look at that energetic mirror and look at themselves. Because you, at that point, are now no longer picking up what they're putting down. So, I hope this message found you well today. And let's keep weaving that dream together. Let's keep listening for the messages waiting between the lines from our spirits, the white light, and our higher beings, angels, and ancestors. Because they are always there, ready to guide us. All right? And what are we, Dreamweavers? What are we? We are the voice of the unseen. And that scares many people because our voice is not always the spoken one. It is that energetic mirror that you carry that illuminates the darkness within others. Sending you love. Let's keep weaving that dream together.